Hi, fellow traders. What a historic 2 days we've experienced in the market. It's been awesome. I mean, I wish I was home at my desk in my office where I could take full advantage of this, but just being a part of it, experiencing it's been an awesome thing. And God, don't let anybody tell you they've been through this before, because as you've heard, and as a lot of news agencies have expressed, this is historic. The market has never gained like it's gained over the last 2 days. So what do we have to do as traders? If you remember seeing this movie, this Clint Eastwood movie, Heartbreak Ridge, and in it, one of the most profound statements that he makes in that movie is, he instructs his soldiers that you have to improvise, adapt, and overcome. And it's kind of been the unofficial slogan that the Marines have. But successful people have to live this way every day. Every day they have to improvise. Because here's the thing, we wake up every morning and we have our trade plans in place. We look at the market, we see how it's traded pre-market, and then bam, the market opens, and it doesn't open the way I would have liked to see it open. It's doing something a little different. I've got to improvise. I've got to adapt my trade plan to what the market is giving me at that time. So any obstacles that's thrown my way, I'm going to have to overcome them. If the platform acts stupid, if if the internet messes up, or whatever happens, I've got to overcome it. Case in point, yesterday, it was the first day I was trading here, and the night before I had everything set up, had my desktop set up, had everything ready to go. I checked the internet speed, was beautiful. Wednesday morning comes, and the things couldn't get out of its own way. The upload and download speeds were below 20, when the night before it was excellent. And I had to adapt. I didn't do a good job yesterday. I let it frustrate me. I got frazzled, and I broke one of the biggest rules that I've had, or processes, or whatever you want to call it, and letting the market settle and tell me what it wants to do. I wanted the market to continue to sell off after it bounced. I was like, yeah, they're going to fool these people, and people are going to pile in buying, and then they're going to dump the market. That's what I was thinking. But did it do that? No. It did it. It started it. But what they were thinking is, you know what? Some idiot out there is thinking that we're going to push the market up to sucker people in, and then we're going to dump it. It's like, nah, what we're going to do is dump it, and we're going to sucker them people in. We're going to take out the first suckers. We're going to take out the second suckers, and we're going to have a double dose. And I was the second dose of suckers yesterday. But I wasn't going to let that do it today. So what I did was I had to improvise, adapt, and overcome. So today was a lot more calmer day. And I knew not to try to trade TVIX because the internet situation I have. I had an issue with the glitch in SureTrader where, I always check to make sure stocks are not on margin restriction. And I was just, every stock I put in showed 16.6%, was restricted. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Apple is restricted. Facebook is restricted. No, this doesn't make sense. So come to find out it was a glitch. But my first trade, I had to adapt so that I could trade and make money. I just couldn't make as much as I wanted to. Yeah, it was frustrating. And yeah, I cried like a baby for a little bit, but that was my way of just venting and getting it out. But as far as I'm concerned, I nailed a day in the small account. And that's what I'll try to teach you guys in the community. I'm trying to show you this is what you have to do if you're going to be consistently successful and you're going to be around for a long time. Is what you're going to have to do. And there's a book called Think Again. And I read it earlier this year. And I meant there's a couple books I wanted to do blogs on. And this is one of them. And what's the guy's name? I think it's Roger Crawford. And it's called Think Again. And in it, he said, to succeed despite the challenges, we've got to plan, we've got to solve, we've got to recalculate, refocus, and then think again. Then reinvent your plan, redirect your plan, and then think again. It's a constant process that we have to go through. And, you know, I don't recommend reading any trading books. 90% of them is garbage. You know, a lot of people are giving their book away because they know it ain't worth it's not worth the ink that it's written on, because it's just regurgitated garbage that everybody says. And you don't really need that. Trading is 80% mental. All of the mistakes that we make once we start trading are mental mistakes. Fear of missing out, chasing. You know, taking trades off too soon, pulling our stops. These are mental errors. So if we fix that, if we get our minds right, we're going to be great. So I read books that deal with helping the mental aspect of my trading. And I'll tell you, I miss Mark Douglas more than you ever know. You know, this guy... hell, I can't even... Is that his right name? It's the end of the day. and I am like, you know, mentally exhausted. But it's been a lot of fun. A lot of fun. But yeah, he did a lot of work with trading psychology. You know, I hate we lost him. He was really, really smart. But it's all about your mental game. And that's where we're going to be putting our focus. You know, how to adapt, improvise, overcome whatever market condition is thrown our way. And sometimes adapting means sitting on your hands and not taking a trade. A lot of times that's what happens. Because if there's no opportunity other than to lose your money, then that's fine. Some people say, well, just trade the opposite of how you normally trade. It's like, okay, go do that and let me know how that works out for you. Makes absolutely no sense. You know, so this is what we've got to do. You know, going into 2019, you know, let's improvise. Let's learn how to adapt to and overcome all of these market conditions. Let's apply our strategy in a way that is going to give us continued success. All right, so let's look at today. Crazy, crazy day in the market. You just couldn't predict the bounce that this got. A lot of people were predicting a bounce. You know, you could look at a weekly chart. You can look at a monthly chart. You can look at yearly charts over a couple of years and say, hey, this is where it bounced right here. You know, doesn't matter what made it bounce. This was one hell of a bounce. And as independent day traders, independent equity traders, we have to sit back and learn what makes the market move, how to read the price action, and how to understand what's going on so that we can get on the right side of the trades. You know, we don't want, whenever a trade whenever money goes into my account, it's coming out of somebody else's. Somebody's losing on that trade, and I'm winning. And vice versa. When money goes out of my account, it's going into somebody else's account. No, doesn't matter who it is. You know, whether it's your trader's account, whether it's another trader on the other side of the world, hell, it doesn't matter. It's gone out of my account. You know, so I want to be on the side where big money is, because they're the ones that are moving the market, and I want to be attached to what they're doing. And I'm telling you, they have done a hell of a job bouncing this market and getting this thing to do what it's doing. I mean, for the second day in a row, it finished strong. But here's what's interesting. Look at what happened this morning. We got down this morning and we never could push up. So this got me looking short today. I'm like, look, this thing can't go anywhere. So maybe we'll sell off. Maybe we'll sell off half of what we gained yesterday before, we start to recover a little bit. Did I expect this recovery? Hell no. This was amazing. I stopped trading. Once I got stopped out of my last trade, I was done. Look at what happened in the last hour after I had quit trading. I mean, just amazing what this market did. And it came back and it actually closed green. So really, really, you have got to be on your toes. Got to be on your toes in order to make money in this market. But I thought that was really, really interesting. And you can see how strong we got it. So, people are wanting to know, how far is this market going to take? How far is it going to go? My initial thought was up here around 260. I felt this is where, around where all of this is, I felt this is where we would reject, somewhere between 258, 260, and, start to come back down. But I'm going to be honest with you. I have no clue. All we can do is sit back and let these guys move the market and be on the same side with them. That's all I'm going to sit back and do. All right, so let's take a look at the trades I made today. And I only traded Apple. And the reason why I chose Apple is because that stock moves relatively slow compared to TVIX. Everybody was asking me why not TVIX? It looks good, it's setting up. Well, when the internet is not 100%, if things just aren't 100%, I am not going to trade it. I made that mistake yesterday. This is one of me adapting to my circumstances and, making it work for me. So what I did was I just put that out of my mind to start with. And I was like, Apple is a pretty good stock. A lot of people, they just trade Apple every day. Or they trade all of the FANG stocks every day. Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Google, Amazon, Baba, Tesla. They trade it every day. But I felt this would be a really good stock to trade. I could take advantage of the market movement and, make some money. And that's what this is all about. It's about finding your comfort zone, your comfort level, based on whatever market conditions you're dealing with, and making money. This is what I was talking about. Improvise, adapt, overcome. And that's what I did today. That's exactly what I did today. And I even had an issue this morning with SureTrader. Well, the platform was telling me that all of these stocks were on margin restriction. And I thought that was kind of weird. But one of the rules that I have and that everybody should have in place is you need to respect whatever stock is on margin restriction. If it's telling you it's on restriction and you think that it may be wrong, you want to don't assume, because the way the system is set up, you have 30 minutes to get in a stock and get out after it goes on margin restriction. And that's why you could be in a stock and it's on margin restriction, and then all of a sudden, after a while, it takes you out. It gives you a window, a 30-minute window to get out before margin calls start happening. So a stock can be on margin restriction. You could still get in using full margin, but once that timer hits, it ticks down to 0, they're going to start looking for people outside of their margin limits, and you're going to get a margin call. Now, people get pissed off. They cry, bitch, moan, and complain, but they send an email. If you ignore your emails in the middle of a trade and you're trading that volatile garbage, then you deserve what you get. I mean, that's the way I feel about it. Because if I'm going to be trading that mess, you can best believe I'm going to be watching those emails, waiting for a stock to go on margin restriction. Actually, I have the trades window sitting there on my platform to let me know when something is on margin restriction, because I'm not going to get caught with my pants down. And if you want to know what it looks like, it's right here. And I got a let me pop it out real quick. It's on every DOS, Sure Trader, Speed Trader, IB, Centerpoint, anybody that uses DOS. Under the trading limits, it'll have right here what your long and short margin rate is. I have this up all day. You can see this is where it was a glitch today. It was showing all of these 16.67%. Let's look at it was crazy. So I have that up, and it's telling me, because I'm not going to be on the wrong side of things. And so I only took 100 shares here because I didn't want to be on the wrong side of things. But it just happened to be a glitch, and you know, everything worked out. And I'm wondering, I think it may still be glitchy. Yep, still glitchy. So I've typed in Facebook, 16.7. But I log in on another computer and it's perfect. So it's just this garbage computer that I'm dealing with. But well, the point I'm trying to make is that you want to make sure you're not getting in a stock that's on margin restriction, and don't rely on your platform to tell you it's on restriction because it's not letting you in a trade. It will give you that 30-minute window to get in before the platform locks down. And once it locks down, if you're on the wrong side of things, you're going to get liquidated. And it's nobody's fault but your own if that happens to you. So I only took 100 shares here and kind of pieced out, you know, 50 here, 25 here. And the reason why this is significant, the 100 shares, is that typically if I'd have got in 200 shares, I would have taken half off here and been out half, and then, you know, have more to piece out. I didn't. I had to do it based on 100 shares, which is okay. You still make money. And if I had 100 shares, this is what I would have people do, because you want to get used to piecing out, scaling out, locking in profit. That's how you pay yourself. So, you know, we're locking in profit along the way. Here, you know, Mr. Smartass here, I'm doing good. I got my chest stumped out. For some reason, I decided to add here instead of here. Here was where I should have added back, and here's where I should have taken profit from my ad. And had I done that, yeah, I probably still would have been stopped out, but I wouldn't have been stopped out here, and I wouldn't have made this dumb entry right here. I did make money on it, but it was just a dumb entry because everything else got screwed up over here. But still made a decent move. Now these arrows, again, like yesterday, this laptop just does not show these triangles really big. And I had to blow this up 250% just to find the arrows on these solid green candles. I mean, triangles on these solid green candles. So I just put these arrows in here just in case you can't see them. But that's where the triangles are. But you can see how I did, ended up taking some profit here, got stopped out back here, got back in, which was a little bit better entry based on some of these other ones I did. Took profit here, but we just could not get through this level. Could not crack 150, and then came back and stopped me out the rest. 250, 291, not a bad deal. Not a bad day. I'm very pleased with how I traded today, considering all of the things that I had to deal with. All of the limitations that I have, and the way I was able to adapt and overcome in this market. So I hope you guys that were in chat, that stayed, that actually got to learn some of this, that you're picking up some of the things that's going on. That's why I trade live every day. I don't just pick one day out of the week to do it, or every now and then, or whatever. It's every day. It's the only way you guys are going to pick up what you need to pick up, and have somebody truly mentor you as they're actually trading. I don't think there's anything better than that. I mean, if it is, and you prove it to me, I'll accept it. But coming from teaching all those years in the classroom, teaching high school kids, there's just no other way in my mind to help people get to the next level. So we're going to continue to do it. Now, again, I checked out. Once I got stopped out up here, I checked out. Okay, I was done. I checked out. Look at what happened after I got stopped out. Who saw that coming? I sure as hell didn't. If I did, I'd have thrown 100 shares on this and let it continue to rock. It would have been beautiful. But I didn't. It's just one of those things. And this is one of those trades where if you chased, it would have worked out. But the next 9 times you chased, it probably would have cost you money. But I just sat back and we enjoyed the show. So one more day of trading. I think I'm going to wire out tomorrow and the last bit I got so that I could put me back at $5,000, and we'll be ready to start the new year. So one more day in 2018, and then it'll be in the books. So looking forward to it. I hope you guys have a great night, great evening, and we'll see you guys right back at it first thing in the morning.